You're watching TVC Breakfast. It's time to look at the headlines on the newspapers across Nigeria now. And I have my regulars in the house. OladeindeAriyo is here, as well as Funke Treasure. Good morning to you both. Good to see you.
Good morning.
You must greet me first.
Oh, okay. Let's greet the elder.
Ladies first.
No, but ladies first.
We are all men.
We're all men. But ladies first.
See yourself.
Okay, Funke, good morning.
Good morning. Good to see you.
Now let's begin with the leadership newspaper. Leadership newspaper says conflicting ex-party orders. CJN moves to save judiciary. Summons 6 chief judges. And the NJC gets mandates to clean up mess in Rivers, Anambra, Kebbi, Jigawa, Cross River, Imo to discipline erring judges. Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Senior Advocates of Nigeria commend CJN for acting swiftly. Okay, that's a leadership newspaper. And this story has been on the front line of several papers now. All right, Nigerian News Direct is next, and it says PDP APGA crisis. Mixed reactions drill summon of 6 chief judges. Ubani commends CJN over summon as Bewaji clarifies NJC CJN rules over judges' conducts. All right, that's the Nigerian News Direct. This day is next. This day is next, and it says CJN moves to save judiciary, summons justices over conflicting court orders. Says CJN has always warned judicial officers to be circumspect in granting ex parte. All right, and the NBA threatens to sanction erring senior members and senior advocates. Nigeria welcome Muhammad's intervention. All right, this is this day. Daily Trust is next. CJN moves to end forum shopping as lawyers worry over conflicting judgments. Summons 6 chief judges working at cross purposes, removes confidence in the judiciary. Will sanction erring members. NBA saying this. Right? Nigeria Tribune. Conflicting court orders. CJN summons chief judges of Rivers, Kebbi, Imo, Anambra, 2 other states. Okay, that's the Tribune. Daily Sun is on the same thing. CJN summons 6 state CJs over conflicting court orders. Rivers, Anambra, Imo, Kebbi, Cross River, Jigawa, all affected. Okay, that's a Daily Sun. Right, from there, let's go to First News. Buhari-Otom clash. Pressure on Benue governor to tender apologies. And Akume midwives peace initiative. No apologies, Otom replies. Insists president wants to Fulanize Nigeria. That's what First News is saying here. That's what they're reporting. This Nigeria is going to Plateau State. Plateau killings. Governor Lalong alleges plot to destabilize states as confusion reigns over ceiling of assembly complex. That's this Nigeria. Right? From there, let's go to the Punch newspaper. And he's talking about the strike. ASU accuses federal government of deceit as minister explains payment delay. Government dishonest. Transferring monies from CBN shouldn't be difficult. Varsity lecturers insist. Of course, in fact, from our phones, we can do a lot of transactions these days. We will make our decisions known. Today's ultimatum stands. Academic Staff Union. And government pursuing CBN to disburse revitalization fund, says Education Minister. All right, we might be looking at that as we get along. Then the panel, the Nation newspaper is next, and it says Mark panel links PDP crisis to Wike Secondus. Reconciliation team seeks withdrawal of cases in MBA. Conflicting rulings ridiculous. CJN invites Rivers, Cross River, Kebbi, Jigawa, Anambra, Imo CJs over contradictory orders. Right? Then from there, let's go to The Guardian. The Guardian newspaper, COVID-19 vaccination. CSOs tackled Edo government on restrictions and profiling. Right? Ondo declares no vaccination, no access to church, mosque, others. 3 die as Edo inoculates 19,579 persons. Coalition cautions Obaseki over compulsory vaccination. Nigeria records 93 deaths, 362 new cases. NCDC is saying this. All right, I think we'll have to look at this controversial issue as we get along, as we open our discussion. Business Day is next. Business Day says Buhari courts trouble in renewed push for grazing routes. Buhari courts trouble in renewed push for grazing routes. All right, the issue is still on the burner. National economy. Harsh economic climate grounds local private jet operations. Harsh economic climate grounds local private jet operations. Number of active aircraft drops by 75%. A subsector loses $5 billion in 18 months. Really impacting that in aviation industry there. In fact, from report, we hear that a lot of private jet owners have decided to park their jets. Blueprint newspaper says at 53%, Nigeria's borrowing sensible and responsible. The federal government is saying this. Says the latest GDP growth stunted by insecurity. Our economy will bounce back and flourish. CAN and PFN are praying and saying that. Okay, that's a Blueprint newspaper. At 53%, Nigeria's borrowing sensible and responsible. That's the federal government. Daily Times. Why non-oil sector GDP is growing. Finance minister is explaining all of this to Nigerians. Of course, economy is growing. Says federal government addressing concerns of manufacturers. And MBS projects 5% growth at end of 2021. Okay, 5% growth. That's Daily Times. All right. From there, let's go to the Vanguard newspaper, which is the last we're seeing now. Second quarter GDP report, experts kick as federal government defends sensible borrowing. Experts kick as federal government defends sensible borrowings. And the sensible there has parentheses. It's not just a clear sensible. So it depends on how you're looking at it. All right. Federal government borrowing sensibly to fund infrastructure, says the finance minister, and Ahmed. Adds insecurity, slowed down agri sector, debt situation not sustainable, ex-LCCI boss. All right, debt servicing crowding out funds for development, says Varsity Dawn. Nigeria neck deep in financial mess, says high cap securities boss. Okay. Oh, all right. With all of this, the government is saying the borrowings are sensible, very, very sensible, and very responsible too. Okay, let's look at this issue of vaccination first. There has been controversy from Edo State recently when the governor said that if you're not vaccinated, the markets you can't even go to buy. And from the report we have here on the front page of the Guardian News, Ondo declares no vaccination, no access to churches or mosques. All right. Others are saying, but the point there is, when it comes to vaccination, it is the person's prerogative to vaccinate or not to vaccinate. So the only thing government can use is to persuade people to do that and create more enlightenment and awareness. Well, let me start with you, OladeindeAriyo, on this. What do you make of this?
If you will allow me, before we will go into all of that, let me quickly say that at the point that government had to be adding sensible to borrowing, something is not right there.
I mean, sensible. They say it's sensible.
I'm saying that if they have to qualify the borrowing to sell it to us so that we will accept it, something is not right there. We may not delve into it, but I'm not convinced that
But
Okay?
yeah, but let's go into the vaccination
Coming
now.
back to the vaccination,
We are a sensible nation.
it's still a primary responsibility of the person now to agree to be vaccinated. It's about his life. It's about him or her. But the point
So it is his decision to make.
absolutely. But the point is, because we interface, we interact, and our lives are interwoven. If your right, or rather, your right now to decide may be slightly be altered because of the other people around you. For instance, if I should get infected, chances are you are Funke.
Don't mention my
we will go for it because you guys are my associates. We roll together on and off television.
It's all right.
So, for your sake, perhaps I will be persuaded to get vaccinated. But you see, the problem here basically is that we've been very short on mass enlightenment and public campaign. We've been saying these things. I don't understand why, despite all the shouts and cries, the people at NOA, they're not listening.
Your friends.
My friends, yes, I can't deny them. They're not altering their modus operandi. They say they do a lot online. I haven't been seeing the online thing. Number two, our internet spread is not good enough. There are places where they don't even have internet. So how do they know we're offering? Besides, what language are you speaking? What cultural affiliations are you applying? If you speak to a Yoruba man in Yoruba, it will most likely align with your position and then go your way. I think to a large extent now, the vaccine apathy and hesitancy that we have seen is largely because people still remain largely uninformed, and that is my position. So the more we can continue to hammer, explain, elucidate, let them understand why they have to. More of us will willingly come out to be vaccinated.
All right. Well, Funke, the point when it comes to let me add to what he was saying and ask you the point there is when it comes to publicity,
right?
Telecoms and banks and so on. In fact, there are some of their jingles that children now used to sing and play with. It tells you how popular, the publicity around whatever they're doing is. I believe that is the same thing that he's asking about his people, the National Orientation Agency. When we remember the days of MAMSA.
Oh yes, I do.
When
I do.
We could sing the songs, we could do all of that. Talk to us from that window. Is your constituency after all?
Well, I want to say that first of all, the media have done quite a lot. In terms of awareness, in terms of reportages, bringing people to understand the pitfalls, why you should be vaccinated. Everything that the media should do, they're doing. In between programs, within programs, you find jingles and promos. The media have
as their own responsibility to the society.
done theirs. But you see, nobody is above the law. And I wager that sensible is going to be quite popular going forward. So I'm going to use the word sensible here.
All right.
Yes. I'm going to use the word sensible.
Let's borrow it from the federal government.
I think it's gross irresponsibility for there's a certain church birthing cell groups in the midst of COVID. When we say COVID is all over the place, there's a pandemic, and then you see our religious leaders, promoting that apathy for it to say, look, it's not happening. You go and anybody can come to your house and worship in your house.
Have faith.
Yes.
Nothing will happen to you.
In the midst of all of what we're talking about, look at the figures are still rising. See, the danger is that we think we're immune because we're in the tropics. We think because we have not witnessed that the large number of deaths we see in other countries that Africa is immune. But we are in danger of of this apathy growing into even more numbers because we just feel that, and then our religious leaders, some of them are making us feel that you will have COVID because you do not have enough faith. I have been to a church where they have told everyone, I mean, if I don't have any example, I have one on Sunday. All of us in the pastorate have taken the vaccines. We want to encourage you to go take the vaccine and be vaccinated. That's a responsible church. But then we have another church saying it's not happening. Go and you're birthing cells in people's homes. You're encouraging strangers to come into their homes. And you don't know their status. It is irresponsible. It is gross irresponsibility. Having said that, who is in charge of enforcement? Because not everyone is using face masks.
Face masks.
If we say it's your prerogative to get vaccinated, fine. But whether you're vaccinated or not, you should use masks in public places. You should be responsible and sensible enough to know that your health is important, and it is gross irresponsibility to use yours to become danger to somebody else.
Isn't it part of that sensibility that some governments or some state governors are now coming to say, well,
and I don't see any reason why CSOs will say
if you don't vaccinate, you cannot go to the markets, or you can't go to church, or you can't go to mosques.
I disagree with the governors.
Okay.
I would rather
agree with them.
They come out persuading, explaining.
They've been persuading for 2 years.
Expanding the frontier.
Well, maybe a year.
There is no limitation to getting people to understand certain things. Let me tell you that a lot of us in the metropolitan areas of the country, we have access to information, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So much of lies and half-truths, and all of that.
And myths.
And myths too. Then the conspiracy theories, they keep coming out every day. 2 minutes before I came in now, somebody sent me one on the gate saying this, not saying that. I just ignored that. So we are faced with all of that as political leaders, figures that we can reckon with. If the governor comes and says, maybe in a 30-second thing, my name is Governor so of this, I am appealing to you. It is important you get vaccinated. I have been begging you use your face mask and all of those small things.
And this is the reason why you need
I can tell you,
vaccinate.
it will resonate with the people.
In some states in the United States,
Well,
if you vaccinate, there is even an incentive.
Yes.
But what they're doing, there is
perhaps
COVID-19.
for the
There is
incentivization.
COVID-19, no doubt about that. But somehow, we don't have it here at the pandemic level. Let's get that very clear.
And we're working towards having it at the pandemic level.
We will not
at this apathy.
We will not. If, like I said, it should be an inclusive thing, not now banning this, banning that. I will have called the pastors, the imams, and everybody, market leaders, and have a one-on-one with them. Okay, that look, go on and begin to tell people.
We're not sure they
You
haven't
and I
done
had
that.
COVID test here last Tuesday. It was somebody's initiative. He brought it here, and we had the test for free. That's what I'm saying. The change we all are looking for should start with us. We also should be campaigners, whereby anyone that we think is still on the other side of the divide, who is still saying Holy Ghost has immuned me, Lord Jesus has covered me, or whatever, let them know that despite all of that, you are better vaccinated. You remember I told you that the three of us should be vaccinated here on air. Yeah. Perhaps that slide was going to show our viewers the seriousness that we attach to it.
Exactly.
And I'm still repeating it. Right. So the campaign can never be too much. We can never have too much of enlightenment. Please. I'm on that side.
But sometimes there can be information overload or information fatigue.
Again,
I agree.
Yeah, let's
Funke being a radio person.
Let Funke say something.
Also should know that, but at the same time, I don't think we're going to that level.
Okay.
Let me draw attention to how accessible the vaccination centers are. If we make it easy for people to get to, and if we make the process also easy, people will go. If it's something I can just on my way to work, drop by, have it done, move on, people are going to look at it like, okay, there's something I can do. But if it's the one that you have to go and queue endlessly, register today, come back tomorrow, and people don't have time for that. We don't have time for that. So we also have to look at the issue of enforcement.
But Funke, the point
to vaccination centers.
The point there is that if we are millions of people and we're talking about vaccinating the entire population of Nigeria, apart from those who are underage and all of that, or who have underlining this and that, we are still going to have that queues.
How many vaccination centers are in Koshofe local government area?
No, for Lagos,
Can I answer that question?
Lagos has about 180, over 180.
The local government secretariat is not even far from here, and I can tell you for free. All you need is to go online and register. Why? They need to track your registration. Not just at this level now, to the global level, so that anywhere you go in the world, you can give them your code and they can see. So that's why that process cannot be.
Some churches
that
as well.
process cannot be sidelined. And once you are through, the person that gives to the vaccination signs as well. The records are kept. I mean, when I went to that place, it didn't take me 30 minutes to get vaccinated. I didn't go in the morning. I just walked in midday, and it was encouraging. Our people are impatient. Our people are impatient.
Maybe our focus should be on how the steps to getting vaccinated. As again,
but I think
it's a lot easier.
But I think it's easier.
It's a lot easier now.
There is a link. There's a link that the primary healthcare development, has given out. Yours is go on that link and register your name, just a few information that you put in there. You will choose which center you want to. As in which state.
You see what you're saying? I'm loving how you're saying.
No, but that's how the thing is. Let me finish. So that same link, you can use it anywhere in the country. But the point there is, you will use it and narrow it down to where you are. If you are in Lagos State, you choose Lagos State. If you are in Koshofe local government, you choose Koshofe local government. And then when you choose, you will see there's a drop menu on all the centers within the Koshofe local government. Then you choose which one. And then when you choose which one, it will also ask you, would you like the morning session or you like the afternoon session?
I mean,
so it breaks it down.
Why did you just do this for TVC?
That's the way.
That's how it is.
Yeah,
that's how it is. So it's very easy. So you choose the timing that you want.
Because you know. So there are millions of people out there who don't know.
Okay.
So
all the millions of people watching, I believe you have known that now. Yeah.
I will not back to the same thing that people still need to be educated.
About the process of vaccination.
When we say go and get vaccinated, we can also teach them about the process too.
Everything is together.
They are together. They are related.
All right. Well, we have to leave it here now. But I believe that when it comes to vaccination or vaccines generally, it still remains the authority of the person.
Absolutely.
To vaccinate or not vaccinate. As much as we persuade everyone to vaccinate for the safety of our communities and families and our country and all of that. OladeindeAriyo, thank you very much for coming on.
Oh, it's over.
He was waiting to talk about the sensible
Funke Treasure, thank you so much. We look forward to how sensible everybody will become, in the approach. No, of course, all of us will become sensible.
It's a sensible thing to do.